You'll often hear me say that learning to work with pre-felts is one of the best things you can do to take your wet felting to the next level. So last week we had a look at the differences between handmade pre-felts and commercial pre-felts. And this week I'd like to show you why sometimes you cut your pre-felts, apply them on your projects, and you end up getting blurry edges around your pre-felt patterns. So if this is something that interests you, make sure you stay until the end. When I'm talking about getting blurry pre-felt patterns, this is what I mean. Can you see the difference between this and this? So the area around this pre-felt, as you can see, is fuzzy. It isn't as straight and clear as this one. Now, before we go on, I'd like to say that this problem only comes up if you're working with handmade pre-felts. If the ones you're using are the commercial ones, you won't have this type of problem. So this is a handmade pre-felt. So it's been made with wool tops or wool roving in 2 layers, and I've cut 2 pieces out of the same piece of pre-felt and applied them to this base wool and felted the whole thing together. So the question then becomes, why does one turn out like this, fuzzy on the edges, and the other one is a lot clearer? This has to do with the degree to which you've pre-felted your wool. If you've only pre-felted your wool very, very lightly, you will get something like this. If, on the other hand, you go on and you pre-felt it further, you then get a nice and straight edge. So this is clear to most felt makers, at least to the felt makers who have already tried pre-felts and who are a little bit more advanced. But the question then is, how do you know which is the right degree to which you should felt your wool to get straight edges? Now, the first answer I have to that question is, as always, you need to do a lot of experimenting. So you will learn to recognize a pre-felt that will get straight edges. So there's a fine line between not felting enough and felting too much, because the risk is then that if you advance your pre-felt too much, that it'll be difficult to have it attach to your base wool. My tip would be that you need to get a tiny bit of shrinkage. Not too much, but a tiny bit of shrinkage. When your pre-felt has started to shrink, it is about ready to be cut, and you can still get nice edges. If you have too much shrinkage already, it'll become a little bit more difficult to have it attached to your base wool. But unfortunately, in wet felting, it's difficult to give you a recipe. So what I would recommend is that you start by making a pre-felt. You cut a square, and with the rest of the pre-felt you have, you go on felting it. You cut another square, and you felt the piece that remains a little bit more and cut a 3rd square. Next, make a sample like this and apply the 3 squares on your base wool. So you will have your base wool with 3 pre-felts that have been pre-felted to different stages, and see what happens. That's the best advice I can give you if you would like to solve this type of problem once and for all. So the secret here is really to get the feeling for the right moment to cut your pre-felts. Again, unfortunately, it's difficult to give you recipes in wet felting. So the best thing you can do is to make a small experiment. Now, it may seem like it's a lot of work, but it'll probably take you an hour or so to make your sample. And this will be enough to give you the sensitivity that will help you in your felting projects in the future. I really hope this has helped. Do let me know in the comments below if you've ever had this type of problem, if you managed to solve it or not, and if there is any other question you have about this topic that I can help you with. If you enjoy this type of tip, I invite you to join my email list. That way you can be notified every time I have a new video, a new blog post, or every time I have a new course, and I have those very special prices that are exclusive to my inner circle. That's it for today. I hope to see you again next week.